नमस्कार दोस्तों. Now we are going to see the how the Visual Studio Code is uh, installed in our PC. So we just click on the Visual Studio. After that, this link will become. So when you go inside the website, here is the two thing is there. One is the Visual Studio, and here is the Visual Studio Code. When you install the Visual Studio Code, we have to uh, download separately for the build environment and for the compiler. But when you download in the Visual Studio, you have to do not need to create your build environment and also do not need to um, download separate compiler. So here is the three version of the Visual Studio Code. One is the community, professional, enterprises. So this one you have to pay it, but its community version is free. So we have to just going to download the community version. Now you have seen that here is the downloading is started. So now we go inside here, and here just we have to click upon double click. Now its installer is going to be installed, and you have just press on yes. When you are using do not have the root user, you need to password for doing this process. After that, installer is going to install. So here it is processing to install the installer. When the installer is installed, that after that we have to install a package, whichever the package we required to build our program. So we have to install those packages. Basically packages when I am talking about as like when you are working on the C and C++ code, so you require C and C++ package. When you're working on the Python, so that time you required Python packages. And now, as you see that when you have to work on the Python development, you have to install a Python. And this is the Arju's development. And when you're working on the Node.js development, you have need to install Node.js. And here is the .NET framework. So when you work on the .NET framework, you have to install .NET. Basically, we are work upon the C and C++. So for desktop development in C and C++, so I have just going to install C and C++. And for the game development for the C++, you use that thing. And when you are enabling the uh, Linux environment on this Visual Studio, you have to download these things. And data storage and processing, so this kind of package is available. And when you want to install the individual packages, you have to go here and check on that these things. So I also going to be installed in the MFC. So MFC have there's the different version, ARM version and 8.6 and 8.4 version. This is the 32-bit and this is the 64-bit of the MFC. So now I have just go to install. This is the latest build space migrants. So I have to just install both one. So now after clicking on that, if you want to language package, which language packages like English, Japanese and Korean, as you when you are able to comment in Italian and Russian and Turkey, so you also go to download these things. And here is you are able to show that which location you want to install these packages. So I have just make it default and then click on the install. While downloading, it shows that when the installing that itself time to downloading also. So just click on the install, and now installation is started. So after now it's started downloading. It's have to download 3.32 GB. So till the time we have to wait on that. Till the time I just stop pause the recording. Now you see that almost it is downloading is completed. So we have to just wait a few minutes or few moments. Till the time I just show you the VS Code interface till it's going to download it. So this is the VS Code interface which I am showing here. So here is the file extension where you are going to give your file name, and here you write a code, and here is the CPP compiler or runner, basically you say that. Compiler basically we call terminal. In the Windows we call CMD, and for the Linux we call a terminal. So this is the interface of the VS Code, and VS Code has also a self-made or some kind of extension we called, when it's to give us the functionality to run directly a code here just on one click. And CMake tool extension is also there, and C++ extension is there, and Python extension is there. So basically for VS Code, it is very easy to work on the small projects. And basically for the writing a code, when you writing a code, it is very easy to write a code and very fast write a code for VS Code. That's why people mostly using in the VS Code for writing a code. But for building a code, that stuff we use for the Visual Studio, because building a tools for we need extra effort to write some build things to build our code. So when it's depend upon the programmer to programmer which one he is preferred. But when we are talking about the big projects, we use the Visual Studio. But when we are talking about the small projects, that time we use the VS Code. And writing a code, we mostly use the VS Code. We write code here and then we will place here VS Code, Visual Studio. That's the way we will work. So now it's almost downloaded and installation is on process. Till the time, what should I show you? Hmm, that's of all the things. Okay, we have to wait till it is not fully installed. Now it's almost in the finishing time. So after the installation, it's going to automatically start a window. We have to waste a few minutes. Now installing is done. Now we have to launch it. So now we does not need this installer. We have to just cancel on it. And now here is saying that sign in. For now we have to skip it for now. And here is the take in, customize it according to your comfort. So we mostly use in the dark one because we are coder. So just start a Visual Studio. Now it's open. Now you have to create a new project. For creating a new project, just you click on here, and now we are going to use the C++ project. So we have click on here, and we have to here is the empty project, and where you say that the hello world, it means main file default will come, where here is the one main file. So we are going to use this one for, because I don't want to write a code. So here is the, I just put on demo in the project name, and going to the project name, just we have to create. Here says that place solution project in the same directory, so mostly we are not clicking on that place because we don't want in the solution and project file on the same directory. That's why, because sometime it will, when we miss it in the on the same directory, so it sometime it will be give us the linker there. Now it's open. Now you see that the one main file is coming. Basically for this come on the project name demo.cpp. So for the, when you want to run it, just you click on this run button. So here you see hello world will be print. Now it's building it. After build it will be pop up. This is called hello world is will be printed. So this will be on using the debugger. When you want to debug a program, that time you have to run it. This one is like when I want to debug it, so I just put it here and then click on here. So you see that debugger will be open. Now debugger will be open, and this is the restart button, and this is the next statement. This is the step into, this is the step over. For the continue, yeah, here is the continue. So when you click on the continue, program will be execute on the next step. Okay, and here you see that the new terminal is open, hello world. So program is executed. That's all for the installing and creating a project on the Visual Studio. Much more functionality is there, but we will cover in on the next video. Thank you so much for watching this.